Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today I'm playing along with Scraptember, and it is day 16, and so the prompt for today was to use a piece of pattern paper as your background. So I am going to do that. I am going to mat it with a small frame of this gray, kind of purpley gray colored cardstock, but this pattern paper here, which is from Grateful Heart and Pretty Little Studio. It's called Kindness. This is going to be my background. Now, because I knew it was going to take a while to dry, I did go ahead and add some splatters in some gold and some white, just to add to, it doesn't really tone down the background, it just adds a little bit more interest to the background, which is already pretty busy. So I'm going to keep, well, there's going to be quite a bit of embellishing, I should say. I was going to kind of say I've kept it kind of simple, but it's definitely heavily layered embellishments is my plan for this page. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm thinking about, or how I'm thinking about laying out the page. And then what I'm going to do is go off camera and I'm going to go ahead and put the page together, and then come back and just show you how close I came to what I'm going to show you as my thought process, and then maybe put some finishing touches on this page. My time this month is a bit limited, so I'm not able to do huge long process videos with a lot of editing, so I'm trying to get some videos up where I can explain what I'm doing and then show you the finished result. So like I said, I'm going to take this pattern paper, frame it with this, which I still think meets the challenge. I have this photo of my son, and he is on the carousel at Magic Kingdom when we were on vacation, and he was not happy. He did not want to ride this ride at all, but his sister did, and so he made it very clear that he was not a happy boy. And back then he would always suck on his two fingers in his mouth, which was the cutest thing. And so he and I sat in one of the, instead of on one of the horses, we sat in one of the like carriage pieces of the ride. And so I snapped this picture of him, and the title I'm going to use for this is a not so magical ride, or a not so magical ride. Something along that line is my plan for the title, because this was not a magical ride for him. He really hated it, which I don't know why, because it's not even like a roller coaster or something. But yeah, he was not having it. So this is going to be the picture, and I'm going to kind of just have it in about this, so not really completely in the center, more kind of down over to the left and down, and that's because his eye line is kind of looking this way, and if I put it over here, he's looking off the page. So if I add it over on this side, he's at least looking into the page. So I definitely want to make sure my photo stays over here, because then nothing feels like it's falling off the page. So once I have that in place, I am just going to back it with two scraps, which have torn edges from a previous layout. And they have fall related words, but I'm not really looking at it for like people reading the words themselves. I'm really just looking at it as something that I can use, or pattern papers that I can use to back the photo. And so I'm going to back it something along this line. One of these will probably be up higher than the other, something along that line. And then I have a piece of, this is actually packaging from one of the ephemera packs, and I'm just going to place it down here underneath the photo. And so my cluster of pattern papers around my photo are going to be something like this, and with that it kind of makes the photo pop off the page a little bit, because this, like I said, is a very busy background and it's very dark. So having the white really lets the photo sort of stand out a little bit more, which I do really like. So I know my photo is going to go something like that. And then I am going to put my title down with these Twilight thickers, as well as these Little Wonders thickers in gold, which brings in the gold that I added to the background. And I'm trying to use these up, and I'm almost down to I'm getting down to where I can't make any more words, especially after this title. And so those are what I'm going to use for letters. Now for embellishing, I am using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of September, which was, like I said, this Grateful Heart collection. So I have just a whole sampling of bits and pieces, everything that I'm using, except for my finishing touches, which will likely be sequins. Everything that I'm using is from that collection, and so I have a tag here that I'm thinking is going to go up here at the top, and then I'm going to take one of the larger florals and put it up here, and then my plan is to layer up a few of these and kind of just, I don't want to have a naked tag hole, so it'll be something like this. Probably this will be overlapping those tags, something along this line. We'll see if it actually stays quite like this once I put it all together, but there'll be a floral cluster up here. This one here I plan to put over here for this floral cluster, and then I have some other labels. I have another floral cluster that's going to go up here like this, so you're not going to see that cup that's on that tag. And then I have more little bits and pieces. This says "Falling for You," just cute little words. And then more florals, which I'm going to put them down here, is my third embellishment cluster, and I'm really just using a lot of labels and more florals. So even though this is a picture of my son, I am adding a whole bunch of florals because this is going to go in. I've actually documented this page before and put it in sort of his little album. And then this one is more for the trip, and so I am going to add this one into that album. So I don't mind that I have florals going on this page as well. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this layout together, because basically what you see here is how this layout is going to look, unless, like I said, something changes when I go to glue it down. And then I'm just going to position the rest of these little florals, because they're really tiny, in amongst the clusters themselves. I have a few little hearts as well, and then figure out where my title is going to go. It might go here, it might go up here, and then finish down here. It just all depends on where I can fit it in. But yeah, this is, like I said, pretty much how the layout is going to look, and I'll be back to show you the finished layout in just a sec. Okay, so I am back. And the layout is pretty much finished. We're just going to add, like I said, a few sequins. And I'm using these Plum Royals sequins from Spookle Mom Scraps. And everything is pretty much in the same place where I told you everything was going to land earlier. And so I went ahead and built out my clusters. They're nice and full. I did pop my photo up on some fun foam, and a couple of the florals are up on fun foam to give a little bit of dimension to the page. And I did end up adding my title a little bit at the top and then here at the bottom. So I do kind of like how that turned out. And straighten out my title. So that is pretty much how the layout's going to look, and we are going to just add in a few sequins. Nothing too major, just a little bit of sparkle. I don't want too much, just enough. So I'm just dotting them like I would enamel dots. So basically in that 3 sort of cluster, or 3 in each cluster, I guess I should say. And I have a little tray, and I like this deep purple color is probably what I'm going to try to grab. Though it doesn't really matter, any of these work really well with this collection for sure. So I definitely love this one. If you have this collection and you have these sequins, they work perfectly together. This is an older collection, so I'm not so sure that people probably have it left in their stash. Or if you're like me and you hoard your papers and don't end up using half the stuff that you buy, maybe you have it in your collection as well. And if you do, you can always grab some of these sequins because, like I said, they work perfectly. So there I've added my sequins. That is going to do it for this page. Just a little bit of sparkle to finish it up. And I will have in the description box below the playlist where you can find everybody who's playing along with Scraptember. And so you can check out everyone's layouts for today and see what they are creating with their pattern paper backgrounds. So with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.